Hello, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to my new space. I'm so happy to have you. This is my new space for the summer for at least 3 months, maybe more. And I just moved to the beach for the summer just for fun, honestly. I just felt like, yeah, I want to be on the beach this summer. So that's what I did. I'm like a couple blocks from the beach. I'm so happy to be here in this new space, and I'm happy to be recording this first video for you here. We'll see if this becomes my setup. Right now, this felt like the right space, but maybe I'll try out some other spots too. We'll see. So in this video, I want to talk about the paradox of both letting go and it is done, or it is done can also be living in the end. There's a paradox going on, right? Because letting go feels like letting go of the desire, right? And it is done feels like it's mine. So how do you do it is mine, it is done, and also let go? This is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Before I jump in, please make sure you're subscribed to my channel in the corner or below. And also know that I offer lots of self-study manifesting courses. There are 12 courses linked below. I can help you manifest anything you want. And the last thing I'll say is I do a weekly giveaway. And this giveaway is for a bundle of 3 ebooks that I wrote. The way to enter into the contest is to subscribe to my channel, to like this video, and to comment below. I choose 3 winners every week on Fridays. Okay, let's jump in. So we're just going to look at the paradox of both letting go and knowing it is yours, and how to do these 2 practices at the same time. And in my mind and my experience and my knowing, there really is kind of a simple answer to this. So as you probably know, I talk about it in a lot of my videos too. I have both a Living in the End playlist and a Letting Go playlist. So I talk about both of these practices. I've talked about them often in multiple videos. And living in the end is the felt experience that your desire is already yours. So it's essentially becoming the person that already has the thing that you desire, right? So when you're living in the end of being in a relationship, you are feeling yourself in the relationship. You're feeling that it is done. You're feeling yourself in the relationship. Letting go feels like non-attachment to that thing that you desire. So when you're letting go, you feel okay. No matter what happens is essentially kind of what letting go feels like. It's like, I'm okay. Another way we can let go is when we do feel the confidence of it is done, we can automatically let go and just be like, okay, well, if it's done, I don't have to worry about anything and I don't have to grasp to anything. And I've talked about that in other videos. I will link a video where I'm talking about this aspect of letting go, where it essentially is what happens when you are really living in the end. You naturally let go. So that video you can watch after if you want. So there's all of that, but what I want to talk about in this video is actually kind of a deeper mastery of manifesting that happens. And in this, I want to say mastery level of manifesting, you are automatically doing both letting go and living in the end at the same time. And where this level of mastery with your manifesting comes from is being attuned to and embodied as and knowing yourself as your infinite self. So this is your spiritual nature. This is your God self. This is the truth of who you are. And when you are embodied as your God self, both letting go and living in the end happen pretty naturally, simultaneously, and they're both quite easy to do. So let me dive into what I'm speaking to in this video. First of all, letting go always happens when we're not attached to something. So attachment is the experience of needing something to happen and essentially needing something to happen out there. So this can happen a lot, and in particular when manifesting a specific person, that might be the thing that we become most attached to is a specific person. That's not uncommon. So this attachment when you need something very specific to happen, you want something very specific to happen out there, you can become incredibly attached to it. Now, the reason being embodied in your infinite self, and I'm going to look at also how it helps living in the end, but first let's look at letting go. When you're attuned to your spiritual nature and you're living in your spiritual nature, which is like landed in yourself as God, yourself as infinite, essentially what it feels like, what it's always felt like for me is there's multiple things it can feel like, but for me, one of the core aspects of what it feels like is I'm in my own wholeness. When you're in your own wholeness, it feels like nothing is missing. And when it feels like nothing is missing, you're not attached to anything different happening out there. Now, feel into this with me. We can have preferences, and I move about my life with lots of preferences, but because I'm not really attached to anything happening out there, I'm not in the experience of lacking something. Again, attachment is always going to come from the inner experience of lack. I need that thing to be complete. That is the perspective that produces attachment, produces that inner feeling of not letting go. I need that thing out there. I need it or I'm not going to be whole. But when you're landed in your God state or your infinite nature, you truly know on a deep feeling level that you don't need anything to happen for you to be okay. Now, when you're landed in this level of wholeness, it feels like the state of being is, I have everything I could ever need or want. And it's feeling that way essentially moment by moment. Now, if you're in the state of being of, I have everything I could ever need or want, you automatically draw anything you could ever need or want to you, right? That's what you're manifesting. And so in God's state, when it comes to a specific person or those things we can't let go of, what you realize is I may want that thing, and that's fine because you can want whatever you want, but I don't need it. That is the optimal state of being to be in to manifest. I want that thing, but I don't need it. I don't need it to be complete. There's an automatic letting go that happens. And so this comes from practicing living or landing in or living in your God state, the state of being that says, I'm whole just as I am. Okay, so that's the first piece of letting go. It naturally happens. You can still have a desire, but you're not attached to it. And if you are attached or grasping or needing something to happen or kind of obsessive, I'm going to record a video about being obsessive soon. If you're in that state of being, when it comes to your manifestation, it's just automatically saturated in lack. And so, I suggest you turning your attention to landing on your own infinite nature, coming more into your God self. I can post another video about God self up here. Yeah, landing in your own spiritual nature, your God self, and recognizing I may want that thing, but I'm good no matter what. It's going to help you manifest anything you want out there when you are not attached to having that very thing. So the other piece of, and so I'm talking about how do we let go and how do we live in the end at the same time. And living in the end, it's in a similar, it's similar to what I'm speaking to from the God self, from your infinite nature. You know that all can be yours. Like nothing feels off limits when we are in our infinite wholeness. And that sounds like really lofty. When I use words like infinite or God or, those two words in particular can sound like really, really big and immense. But your God self is actually, for me, it often is a very simple feeling of everything in this moment is complete as it is. Nothing's wrong, nothing's missing, and nothing is off limits. So a good way to just simply live in the end around your manifestation is, it doesn't even have to be specifically about your manifestation, but a way to live in the end is just knowing all is mine. Like nothing's off limits to me. I am the creator. I am the one creating everything in front of me. So you don't have to go to the extent of feeling like you have that thing. I mean, I do teach people how to do that, and that's a wonderful practice to have. And if you can live in the end, like not live in the end like this where you're grasping to it, but live in the end where you know that thing's mine, it's a done deal, I don't have to stress about it. That's the combination of living in the end and letting go at the same time. Right? But again, just to finish the thought I was having, it's like you can live in the end over here, and in that living in the end, you just know that nothing's really off limits. The more you can spend time in that end result, which is kind of a general God self end result, nothing's off limits for me. I'm the creator. I can create anything I want. Again, that's always going to create the desired reality for you. So these general feelings of, it's all good, I don't have to grasp to anything. I can have preferences, but I don't have to grasp to anything because I'm already whole. And because I'm whole, everything I can ever want is already mine and can be mine. If you're able to feel this particular state, which really is the God state, manifesting becomes really effortless. And also, you don't suffer anymore. Because the nature of these two states of all can be mine and I'm already whole, so I don't really need anything. The nature of that state is all is well. Suffering comes from, this is where suffering comes from. It comes from us feeling like all is not well and something is missing. That's what the egoic self feels. That's the cornerstone feeling of the egoic self. Something's missing. I'm not complete. The feeling of the God self is nothing's missing. I am complete. All is well. Okay? So this is like just a deep dive into letting go, living in the end, how to use them together. And of course, it always is going to come back to the God state. So I hope you like this video. I would love to hear your comments below. What do you think about what I just said? Does it make sense to you? I would love to hear from you. And again, welcome to my new space. I'm so happy you're here with me, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.